When Anse finally sent for me of his own accord, I said, "He has wore her out at last." And I said a damn good thing, and at first I would not go because there might be something I could do and I would have to haul her back by God. I thought maybe they have the same sort of fool ethics in heaven they have in the medical college, and that it was maybe Vernon Tull sending for me again, getting me there in the nick of time, as Vernon always does things, getting the most for Anse's money like he does for his own. But when it got far enough into the day for me to read weather sign, I knew it couldn't have been anybody but Anse that sent. I knew that nobody but a luckless man could ever need a doctor in the face of a cyclone. And I knew that if it had finally occurred to Anse himself that he needed one, it was already too late. When I reach the spring and get down and hitch the team, the sun has gone down behind a bank of black cloud like a top-heavy mountain range, like a load of cinders dumped over there, and there is no wind. I could hear Cash sawing for a mile before I got there. Anse is standing at the top of the bluff above the path. "Where's the horse?" I say. "Jewel's taken and gone," he says. "Can't nobody else catch it. You'll have to walk up, I reckon." Me walk up, weighing 225 pounds? I say. "Walk up that darn wall?" He stands there beside a tree. Too bad the Lord made the mistake of giving trees roots and giving the Anse Bundrens he makes feet and legs. If he'd just swapped them, there wouldn't ever be a worry about this country being deforested someday. Or any other country. "What do you aim for me to do?" I say. "Stay here and get blowed clean out of the county when that cloud breaks?" Even with a horse it would take me 15 minutes to ride up across the pasture to the top of the ridge and reach the house. The path looks like a crooked limb blown against the bluff. Anse has not been in town in 12 years. And how his mother ever got up there to bear him, he being his mother's son. "Vardaman's gettin' the rope," he says. After a while Vardaman appears with the plow line. He gives the end of it to Anse and comes down the path, uncoiling it. "You hold it tight," I say. "I done already wrote this visit onto my books, so I'm going to charge you just the same, whether I get there or not." "I got hit," Anse says. "You kin come on up. I'll be damned if I can see why I don't quit." A man 70 years old, weighing 200-odd pounds, being hauled up and down a damn mountain on a rope. I reckon it's because I must reach the $50,000 mark of debt accounts on my books before I can quit. "What the hell does your wife mean?" I say. "Taking sick on top of a darn mountain?" "I'm right sorry," he says. He let the rope go, just dropped it, and he has turned toward the house. There is a little daylight up here still, of the color of sulfur matches. The boards look like strips of sulfur. Cash does not look back. Vernon Tull says he brings each board up to the window for her to see it and say it is all right. The boy overtakes us. Anse looks back at him. "Where's the rope?" he says. "It's where you left it," I say. "But never you mind that rope. I got to get back down that bluff. I don't aim for that storm to catch me up here. I'd blow too darn far once I got started." The girl is standing by the bed, fanning her. When we enter she turns her head and looks at us. She has been dead these 10 days. I suppose it's having been a part of Anse for so long that she cannot even make that change, if change it be. I can remember how when I was young I believed death to be a phenomenon of the body. Now I know it to be merely a function of the mind, and that of the minds of the ones who suffer the bereavement. The nihilists say it is the end, the fundamentalists the beginning, when in reality it is no more than a single tenant or family moving out of a tenement or a town. She looks at us. Only her eyes seem to move. It's like they touch us, not with sight or sense, but like the stream from a hose touches you, the stream at the instant of impact as dissociated from the nozzle as though it had never been there. She does not look at Anse at all. She looks at me, then at the boy. Beneath the quilt she is no more than a bundle of rotten sticks. "Well, Miss Addie," I say. The girl does not stop the fan. "How are you, sister?" I say. Her head lies gaunt on the pillow, looking at the boy. "You picked out a fine time to get me out here and bring up a storm." Then I send Anse and the boy out. She watches the boy as he leaves the room. She has not moved save her eyes. He and Anse are on the porch when I come out, the boy sitting on the steps, Anse standing by a post, not even leaning against it, his arms dangling, the hair pushed and matted up on his head like a dipped rooster. He turns his head, blinking at me. "Why didn't you send for me sooner?" I say. "Hit was just one thing and then another," he says. "That air corn me and the boys was I mean to get up with, and Dewey Dele takin good cure of her, and folks comin' in a offerin' to help and sich till I just thought. Damn the money," I say. "Did you ever hear of me worrying a fellow before he was ready to pay? Hit ain't begrudgin' the money," he says. I just kept a thinkin'. She's goin', is she? The dern little tyke is sitting on the top step, looking smaller than ever in the sulfur-colored light. That's the one trouble with this country. Everything, whether all, hangs on too long. Like our rivers, our land. Opaque, slow, violent, shaping and creating the life of man in its implacable and brooding image. I knowed hit, Anse says. All the while I made show. Her mind is sod on hit. And a damn good thing too, I say. With a trifling, he sits on the top step, small, motionless in faded overalls. When I came out he looked up at me, then at Anse. But now he has stopped looking at us. He just sits there. "Have you told her yet?" Anse says. "What for?" I say. "What the devil for? She'll know hit. I knowed that when she see you she would know hit, same as writing. You wouldn't need to tell her. Her mind." Behind us the girl says, "Pa." I look at her face. "You better go quick," I say. When we enter the room she is watching the door. She looks at me. Her eyes look like lamps blaring up just before the oil is gone. "She wants you to go out," the girl says. "Now, Addie," Anse says. "When he come all the way from Jefferson to get you well?" She watches me. I can feel her eyes. It's like she was shoving at me with them. I have seen it before in women. Seen them drive from the room, them coming with sympathy and pity, with actual help, and clinging to some trifling animal to whom they never were more than pack horses. That's what they mean by the love that passeth understanding. That pride, that furious desire to hide that abject nakedness which we bring here with us, carry with us into operating rooms, carry stubbornly and furiously with us into the earth again. I leave the room. Beyond the porch Caches saw snores steadily into the board. A minute later she calls his name, her voice harsh and strong. "Cash," she says. "You Cash."